Hey, this is Steven with KnifeTV at the Art Knife Invitational in San Diego, October 30th, 2015. We are sitting with the awesome engraver, knife maker, and super cool person, Julie Warenski. How you doing, Julie? Great. How was the show for you?
Excellent. Sold out.
As we expect. So, tell us a little bit, and I don't think we ever knew this before, how did you get into engraving?
I met Julie Warenski. He taught me to engrave.
When was that?
1986. I took an engraving class. He was the teacher. Married the teacher. And then subsequently we got married, and we were married for almost 20 years when he passed away. He taught me so much about the knife business, knives, engraving, even making some of the knives. They did everything except grind the blades. And he used to joke that he was going to teach me how to grind the blades and then he could retire. And I would give him the death look and like, no way. But he got the last laugh in the end because I wish I would have learned. So after he passed away, I started practicing grinding the blades because I knew practically everything else on knife construction and engraving. And one day, Kurt called me because he and Buster were good friends, and I told him I'd been attempting to grind, but I wished I would have learned to grind from Buster because he did it a different way, different technique than a lot of knife makers, and that I really wished I had learned from Buster. And he said, "Well, I can come help you because Buster taught me." You would really drive down here because it was a 3-hour, 4-hour drive. And he said, "Yeah, I owe it to Buster." So he started coming down and went to the grinding lessons of how Buster taught him. And after one day, it was not enough time to learn, so we'd come back the next weekend and the next weekend. Anyway,
so
that's how we met.
You learned to engrave from Buster, but somewhere along the line, you became one of the foremost practitioners of what we call banknote scroll in engraving in the world. How did that come about?
Over years, you progress and you do different techniques. And I remember Buster teaching me that after your technique evolves, the best thing is when you finally develop your own technique, to where people can recognize your work without looking at the signature. They can tell who did the engraving because it's your technique and your style without knowing who wrote the signature, then you've made it. So, and you've never made it, you're always learning. But you develop your own style over the years, combining different things and just experience. So that's basically how I came up with my style, was just years and years of learning different styles.
So they say that every artist always improves, but they also say that the best gauge of an artist is that people buy their work and pay for it, and also how backlogged they are. How many years are you backlogged in your work?
It's hard to truly say because my backlog depends on what shows are going to, or a lot of different things determine it. So there will be times when I'm backlogged only 6 months. There will be times I'm backlogged a year and a half. And I really don't like to get backlogged longer than that.
I think that's a really good indication of the popularity of your craft. What are some of the things that you think about? I know that you didn't, when you were younger, you didn't really think about this as a full-time profession. What are some of the things that you think about as a full-time craftsperson in this day and age, as far as job security, or as far as how you're viewed by your peers?
It takes a lot of years to earn your reputation. Once you've got that reputation, the work comes, then you have to honor that reputation. It's the love of the art. If you don't love it, you won't stick with it for 30 years. Basically, all I'm saying is you have to love doing it. Time flies when you're having fun, and it does.
They say that a person who loves their work doesn't work a day in their life. I do want to close with just one sort of topical thought. You are the only woman currently in the Art Knife Invitational. What are some of the thoughts that run through your head? And what are some of the things that you might want to say to women out there who are thinking about this as a career?
I'm honored. I was one of the first women in this industry. When I first walked into that first engraving class back in 1986, the men told me, ladies are in the wrong class, this is the engraving class, because it was a man's occupation. So I've struggled with that, and I hopefully have helped women, inspire women to get into this industry. And there's so many now. It's very inspirational to watch these women. There's many now.
I think you have, Julie, and I want to thank you for taking the time to chat with us. This is Stephen, the Art Knife Invitational, KnifeTV, October 30th, 2015. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Stephen.